Hello, my name is Lutriana, and in this presentation, I will explore the Basílica de la Sagrada Familia, one of the most iconic but yet unfinished monument in Europe. Well, this basilica has been under construction for over 140 years, and it was designed by the renowned architect Antoni Gaudi. He was born in 1852 and died in 1926 in Spain. He dedicated more than 40 years of his life to this project, and the last 15 of those he worked on it exclusively. His approach was deeply spiritual. He once said, "The temple grows slowly, but it must grow in accordance with God's will." He saw the temple not just a building, but as a living expression of divine creation too. I think what is fascinating of this building is not only the architectural complexity, because that's amazing, but also the fact that such a monumental project continues today. I mean, have you think what does it mean for a building to span so many generations of builders, artists, and citizens? Well, to get deeper or to know more about this monumentum, uh, it's important to know that the Sagrada Familia is located in Barcelona, Spain. The construction began in 1882 under Francisco de Paula del Villar and was taken over by Antoni Gaudi in 1983, who dedicated the last years of his life entirely to this project. It is constructed primarily by stone and concrete, and uh, it's recognized today as a basilica, not a cathedral that is commonly assumed. Well, now in order to understand the art in this monument, we need to know that the Sagrada Familia was designed during a time of deep cultural change in Catalonia. This region was going through a period of strong national identity and artistic experimentation, and therefore the architecture became a way to express both. Antoni Gaudi stood out as a central figure in what is known as Catalan modernism, a movement that blended nature, religion, and incredible attention to craftsmanship. Um, but Gaudi didn't limit himself to just one style. That's for therefore we have in the Gothic elements. You can see in the pointed arches all around the building, which not only look beautiful but also help to support the weight of the structure. They give the basilica that elegant upward feel typical of Gothic cathedral. At the same time, Gaudi was also influenced by Art Nouveau. What mm, Here is where all the following curves and organic shapes come in, but he took it further. He used those curves to reflect the logic of beauty and he saw in nature. And actually, here we can see the natural forms. Uh, Nature for Gaudi was everything. He believed it was a direct reflection of God, so the architecture should follow its rules. Inside the basilica, for example, as we can see here, the columns aren't just straight, they branch out like trees. And it really feels like you are standing in a stone forest where the light from the stained glass mimics sunlight coming through the leaves. I think it's beautiful, but also really smart, because those branches help to hold up the entire ceiling. Uh, well, now we are looking Now, from the outside perspective, we can observe that the Sagrada Familia is designed with three facades. The Nativity facade that was the first to be built and is dedicated to the birth of Jesus. Gaudi personally oversaw its design and construction. It is notable for exuberant decoration and naturalistic details that celebrate life and creation. Then we have the Passion facade. This facade, as the name says, represents the Passion, also the death and resurrection of Christ. Is designed to be more austere and dramatic. It features straight lines and angular sculpture that convey Jesus' suffering. And at the end is the Glory facade, which is still under construction, and it symbolizes the heavenly glory of Jesus and represent the path to God. It is expected to be the greatest of the three, with rich iconography related to eternal life and ascension. For this monument, Gaudi used light through stained glass windows, the three light columns in the nave, and the constant upward movement of the towers. All this with the idea to elevate the viewer's spirit toward to the divine. Because, as we said before, Gaudi was really inspired by the spiritual perspective of his creation. Uh, Aside from the facade and towards, one of the most fascinating aspects of the basilica is its structural and mathematical complexity. Gaudi was not only an architect, he was also an innovator in geometry and engineering. He used forms like hyperboloids, helicoids, and paraboloids through the building. These are not just decorative. They help distribute weight and light efficiently, and they give the structure its organic, almost living feel. For example, here the bowels of the nave rise to 35 meters, is supported by columns made by different materials according to the weight they carry. Gaudi designed them to change color and thickness depending on the pressure, like real trees adapted to their role in a forest. Here we can see another example that is the innovation of the helical stairs that is inside the towers. They follow a spiral path similar to shells or natural forms. They represent both movement and ascension. But also, we can see the light. The light was also a central element. Gaudi carefully planned the orientation of the building and the placement of stained glass windows to create specific lighting effects at different times of the day. The warm colors dominate the sunset side, and the cooler cold tones appear at the sunset, giving the visitors a different emotional experience depending on the hour they will visit the building. All these uh, design decisions were not random. Gaudi believed that every element of architecture should serve a spiritual, symbolic, and functional purpose. And the Sagrada Familia, I think that reflects the philosophy he was trying to show us, and it's in every detail in the monument. So, at the end, the basilica will eventually include 18 towers, 12 of them for the apostles, for the evangelist, one for the Virgin Maria, and one rising above all for Jesus Christ. I think my personal reflection is that um, this huge construction, the timeline. I think the timeline of this huge construction is impressive. I mean, how is it possible that a building can take more than a century to be completed? Imagine. I wonder how Gaudi will be feeling right now, uh, knowing that his vision has been passed on through generations. Uh, do you think he will be satisfied with what others have added to his plans? I don't know. I think it's remarkable to think about a monument that is both historical and is still in progress. The Sagrada Familia invite us to reflect on continuity, devotion, and the role of art shaping collective memory. If you really think about it, it's a really impressive, im- impressive building, and I think to conclude, uh, uh, in summary, the Sagrada Familia is more an architectural masterpiece. It is more than that. It is an testament to persistent faith and vision that extends beyond a single lifetime. Gaudi once said, "My client is not in a hurry." So perhaps that is what made this basilica so unique. Um, it's not stopping. It's still a story that it has continued be writing. So thank you for watching my presentation, my video until the end, and I hope you enjoy it as I did. So have a good day. Bye bye.